well, bringing in the lance, bringing in the axe. But on the other side, something that we've been kind of talking about, or we were talking about over sitting on the couches watching, is like the Fate Queen Nai combo is working extremely well.
Right. Okay. Let's get underway right here.
Of course, we're going back to Apocalypse. Very, very popular map, especially in twos. You don't have too many soft platforms in there to where it feels like something, you have a ceiling over your head that's shockingly low, but it gives you enough room, gives you a place to go, gives you a place to spread out, but also get up close and personal, while still giving you like decent-sized sidewalls, as opposed to like Demon Island, so you don't feel like you're grabbing onto like a postage stamp and trying to use that for safety on the edge.
All right, as we're talking about it, everybody hanging out in the red right there, but the red team is going to go down first with a pair of stocks. Should be a reply stock rather quickly on FryDasOle. It just needs one opening. See when that comes through.
One of the things that makes this team so effective, as they get completely wiped, is Queen Nai is a very slow legend. Some of her signatures are very slow to start up as well, but the trade-off is they're very strong. She has a very high strength, so she's going to send you flying with every single hit. And with Fry's ability, having the Scythe to kind of direct his opponent towards Queen Nai, giving KiXe plenty of time to set up for those signatures to do big damage, time after time, get those stocks very, very early. That's one of the reasons this team is so effective.
There it is right there,
just being
active
great players.
From FryDasOle as well. No resources left, but the reset there from Mounir means he gets to live for a little bit longer. Nice, okay. Lance picked up on the side of Koko.
He went, of course, for the sidelight nair, true combo. He then kind of retreated back over to the left side of the stage. I don't know if he was going for a reset, if he wanted to pick up another one, maybe a sidelight side air after the dodge was burned. The turnaround recovery actually hits his teammate, and he goes for the sidelight side air, of course, not a true combo, so the dodge came out. Nice. There's the D-Sig, the target swap from Koko.
Yeah, and this is really good. I was about to say, this is the first time I've seen FryDasOle with the orb in this set so far. His hands have been glued to the scythe, and it just swaps right back right there. I think what you pointed out, too, of just the ability to reposition with this weapon is so massive.
It's so much control, which is one of the reasons it's so strong in 1v1s, but the ability to choose like, oh, I want to keep sending them over to the blast zone, or I want to send them back to my teammate, gives you so much control over every situation that you find yourselves in.
Okay, FryDasOle, I believe, primed to get the scythe back once again on this next weapon pickup, but Mounir is not letting them have it.
Tried to zone him out.
Arm for a little bit longer. Here we go. Koko just running across the bottom of the stage right there, maybe looking for a hard read, but wasn't going to get too much out of it.
They're keeping Fry off the weapon, and starving him off the weapon has been very effective so far. Like we talked about a little bit earlier while your teammate is spawning back in. This time, Fry at the weapon disadvantage was just scared, so he went over to the wall. That gave them plenty of time to put out work on a KiXe, find that stock.
Absolutely, yeah, and a ton of conversation has been centered on FryDasOle and how to get them off of the site. Got to talk about red team team combos, man. These have been really, really solid so far. Mounir with the finisher, almost every single stock, I think, in this first game. As I say it, though, Mounir will be the first to drop, and so will Red Team in this first game. They might have starved him out of the scythe for a little while, but it did not starve them out of that first game.
They have to, I think, focus on starving him off of his weapon or getting him on his other weapon. So forcing him onto that orb, which means not letting him cycle out those weapons so he can prime that scythe. Because we really haven't seen like any, let me look at the stat tool real quick to see how much damage he did on the orb. Yeah, Fry did 59 damage on the orb. That is all he could do on that orb. He did more unarmed damage than he did orb damage.
Yeah, we did see that one interaction of Fry picks up the orb and he's like, no, I don't want it. Get rid of it.
Forcing him onto that or forcing him onto the unarmed kit is very important and should be critical for their entire game plan and their win condition.
Okay, we did see some excellent conversions on the red side as well. Wasn't enough to get past that repositioning power of the scythe, though. So let's see what adjustments Red Team brings in coming into game 2.
So now he's without that weapon. Now he has the orb. We'll see if he can contend with these gauntlets from Mounir, because even when he had the scythe in his hand, like, Mounir was putting hands on him.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's like just such a huge macro strategy there that you've pointed out, Sparky, is when Fry is unarmed or holding the orb, go ham. Let's see what happens and see how much damage you can get down in time, because that scythe, look at the damage that's going in. There's first strike.
Oh, you went for the GC deal. I was just a little bit too low. The hit came out from Mounir onto Fry, but there was an interruption there from KiXe. KiXe.
Oh, Mounir on the right side, though, as you say it.
He got soloed. Tell me what happened, because my eyes were on KiXe.
He did a weapon toss down and then basically just caught him off the backboard, alley-oop into the ground pound. Really excellent stuff, especially to play off the 1v1. Like I said before, Red Team has been so good at finding these team combos, KOs off the top. To get a 1v1 right there is massive.
My eyes have been glued to KiXe. He's an incredibly strong player. Like, he's been around in the scene for a long time. He had his heyday. I can't remember exactly the years that he. Oh my gosh!
No resources
Just
left.
completely chasing under the stage and still getting back. He's shown like a great individual performance, pushing onto the red team, but also great follow-up performance as well off of Fry, or giving Fry the alley-oop, giving him the assist so that Fry can do work as well. So KiXe, even though we know Fry, like he's the larger name on this team, KiXe has put out already a stellar performance so far today.
And I would say, the unsung hero, as you talked about it. KiXe's first stock went right there. Here we go. No scythe right there. Red team, you know what to do. The plan is simple. You got the syllabus at the start of the semester. Let's see how you spend your time studying. Okay, Koko, nice target swap right there. Mounir right on top of it as well to answer the stock.
Mounir's starting to hit those side signatures on the gauntlets quite a bit, and it's been very effective so far.
Nice.
There's yet another one that he ends up picking up, and that's not one of the necessarily easiest ones to hit. It's not one of the quickest ones. I'm talking specifically about the spear side signature. You can throw that out essentially like it's a light attack, but Mounir's timing on the gauntlet side signature has been great. Look at that!
Sparky, I'm losing it now. Red team with these combos have looked real solid. Can they close the door on this game though to equalize? Scythe is up and online for FryDasOle though, so this is getting real scary. Okay, stock will go down again by Mounir, and one more to follow. No, not yet.
I thought that was going to straight up KO right there. Just a little bit too high for that side signature, even though it pops Fate up off the ground just a little bit. Koko was floating just high enough to get away from it. There's the in-light, the dodge down.
Scythe throw gave Koko a little bit of a haircut right there, just trimmed the top of the scalp. Coming through, Koko unarmed there for a little bit faster movement if we want to see this come through, but you cannot commit to anything or else you're going to go down right there.
And there you see Fry opting into what we call the strong D-light, the one that sends the original direction that your opponent is facing, right? You can go for the active input where you grab them, swing them around behind you for more spatial control.
Right.
But if you want to look for the KO, you're going to go for that strong D-light because it has a greater force dump right there at the end. See the setup here, and it was ready. Even KiXe was ready. He was a little bit slow, but he didn't actually need it, so it didn't matter. And just, man, I'm really, really, really impressed with KiXe. I feel like I have not seen that name or needed to care about that name in a while, and KiXe's given me a great reason this weekend to care about him again.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think for as much as we spent the first two games talking about how FryDasOle was being the one to be able to take initiative, set a lot of things up with the scythe, KiXe again has been the unsung hero for this team.
Because when you're great at setting things up, you need two to tango. You need someone to be able to capitalize off of that and to keep things going so that they can then set you up after that to turn a 2-hit into a 3-hit, 4-hit, 5-hit, 6-hit, and on as you end up taking the stock. But now we're seeing a swap here from Mounir bringing the cannon in. Well, it's essentially one of the first blasters, right? Cannons existed before blasters existed.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about cannon and doubles, because I've heard a couple things.
Cannon and doubles is interesting. I feel like it takes a special player, and maybe Mounir might not be that guy right now. Look at so far, this is KiXe saying you're not that guy, buddy, as he takes him off the top and might get another KO onto Koko as well. But I don't want to say a pun because that's cringe, but the cannon is very explosive. You can get a dodge from someone, and then you can carry them across the stage. You can take them out very early. Stingray is a very strong cannon player, known for getting those dodges, baiting those dodges and capitalizing, a lot of times taking out stocks in orange. But specifically what you're looking at here with the Zol pick is the explosiveness of that cannon, the very high strength that the Legend has, and of course an axe, which we will see very much of this weekend.
I think the thing that I've noticed in the few seconds I've seen on cannon so far is that it's kind of letting the red team play separate 1v1s and capitalize on those pretty well. And that was something red team was already doing when Mounir was on gauntlets, as it was. So if you throw a cannon on there too with the explosive side-to-side potential that weapon can have, I don't know, I'm interested in seeing how they pan out right here. We're even across the board right here, Mounir and FryDasOle on red damage. So any second now, either of those going to go out, but that's the start of something huge. Oh my! Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Wait,
oh no, dude, that stinks, man. He had a game plan off stage. He had like a 6-step plan.
Yes.
And I feel like most people would just fold under the pressure of what is currently happening to them, the cutscene that they're essentially watching. That is a super early KO,
Yes.
and that is one of the reasons you play a high-strength legend.
And forced into the 2v1 is KiXe as well. We're going to follow the last stock right here. Red team might pick one up on the board here.
They have so much KO potential. Between these two legends, especially when Koko has the axe in his hand, of course he has desig on axe, covering both 45-degree angles in front of and behind him, and then everything Zol does hurts a lot. All of his signatures hurt a lot. Cannon hurts a lot.
Oh, wow, yeah, so much coverage right here. You can't be entering wall slip in just a moment. Yeah, KiXe finds his way back onto the ground right here, but tough pill to swallow coming into game 3. I mean, this is a tall order.
Now, KiXe does have some defense on his side. Queen Nai is a very tanky legend.
Sure.
We always say Queen Nai never get knocked out. Staying deep enough in the push-off column and not going straight over against the wall because he knew that ground pound was coming in from Mounir.
Okay, KiXe does find weapon right there, but this is really tough. Okay, no KO off the top just yet. KiXe fighting this really, really well, especially for being on such high damage last stock, but next one's certainly going to do it.
So with Queen Nai, one of the reasons KiXe is likely going to struggle here to maybe even get a single stock is the long signatures. Of course, you know the neutral signature, floating up into the air and extending your beautiful wings. Like that locks you into place for a very long time. Now, when your teammate is there to set up an opponent throwing them into you and then deal with the other person, you have all the time in the world to do that. Even a desig, which is relatively quick, when there's two people that are fighting you and you don't have a teammate on your side, man, dude, that edge guard was so sick.
Just saw that replay. I was about to be so validated after I talked about how cool the 1v1s could be on this weapon. Mounir was really showing up, but unfortunately didn't read the whole thread on how to get rich quick.
Now Mounir feeling really good off of that. Of course, the D-Light into the neutral air to clean things up on that second to last stock. That weapon toss. The neutral light lasting through the spot dodges that came out, and that was the KO move. And of course, no legend swaps whatsoever coming from Mounir and Koko. We're going over to the Fortress of Lions.
Right, yeah, and I mean, why would you, right? Like, that last game was, what, a 3-stock there? Mounir on the cannon was just playing very, very excellent. Even with the reversal stock right there on that crazy edge guard sequence we saw in game 3, didn't really matter at the end of the day.
KiXe disarming himself very early. You see him immediately disengage. He doesn't want to take a bunch of damage early on in the game. He would rather wait the 3 seconds that it takes for that weapon to spawn in so he can grab it. Ooh, the axes, dude, they're swinging.
Yeah, big damage from Mounir right there.
Easy
Hit the
punish.
teammate doesn't even matter right there, too. And first strike gonna go over. This one for Mounir as well.
And you saw what Mounir was doing over on the edge. We saw it last game, specifically with like a lot of those D6 coming over the edge. It's such a safe thing to do. See right there, that's the perfect opportunity. Mounir was not on the stage. He had the setup from Fry. It was super safe, super easy to pick up. So it's great. But then all of a sudden, when you're in the 1v2 or even just a 1v1, it becomes a double-edged sword.
Okay. This is tough now. FryDasOle, yep, just runs away right there. You're setting up the alley-oops. You don't want to be going for the dunks right there until your teammate comes back.
KiXe without a weapon, up on the soft platform, gets down the surface-to-air missiles coming from Mounir.
Okay, Mounir, a little bit of a jump read right there, but still keeping FryDasOle offline right there, which means the blue team really doesn't have a lot of initiative in terms of setting up combos right now. Now they're splitting up into their separate 2v1s as well.
There's the GC sidelight coming out from Fry, hoping over on the edge. Now KiXe again without a weapon. There is a spawn on the field. He's able to get to it. Fry's done a good job of being able to stick on the scythe. Hasn't been disarmed too often or stuck on the orb very much. Now he's back over on the orb, see if he can clean the stock up. Given that KiXe's the weapon disadvantage, goes for the slide charge, turnaround, neutral signature. Does not make contact with anybody, and now he's without a weapon. Both members of the blue team are without a weapon.
This is so scary for blue, right? Yeah, FryDasOle just painfully jumping around looking for it. Finally picks up the scythe right there as Mounir spawns back in. Now back on the orb, though, so how are we going to play this one out, Sparky?
He's going to be maybe looking for the sidelight side air true combo setups, maybe just looking for some neutral air juggles. Really what he's going to be looking for is the weapon spawn, except that is very bad for him because he just picked up the scythe and lost his stock, so now he's looking at an orb. We regularly see players, like specifically Kosalix in North America was one of the first people to do this. He was very much a lance main compared to every other weapon, is he would just like be fine with losing his stock while he had the other weapon in his hand so that he could come back in and get that lance straight away rather than dealing with like, oh, I have this lance for 25 seconds and all of a sudden I have to deal with my other weapon.
Yeah, and once again, FryDasOle back on the orb right here. The way that Koko and Mounir have been playing their macro positioning is just so excellent. Like, look at the way they go outside, or inside out, excuse me, of just kind of forcing separate 2v1s. That's kind of the ideal position that I've been seeing out of Red Team so far.
Once you do that, you take away a lot of the power that KiXe has on the Queen Nai. You take away a lot of the setup power that Fry has as well with his Legend, regardless of the weapon in his hands.
Getting pieced up right there is Mounir, though. KiXe really out there. Mounir strikes right back, though. That looked like it could have been a sure stock for the blue side, but somehow loses one.
Mounir stuck without a weapon, able to grab the cannon. Coming in, it's 2 stocks to 2, but Koko and Mounir are very damaged, but Fry is as well. Koko goes back, ends up hitting his teammate. Red team completely split from one another.
Yep. Okay, recovery there from KiXe. Will find the stock, and it's a 2v1 again. Blue team can close the door right now.
Looking for their qualification into top 8. If blue team takes this, it'd be a 3-1.
Okay, how does Lance get in
Fry
here?
didn't do anything there.
Happening. So scary. Okay, FryDasOle drops the sight, but lets KiXe just get pieced up in the process. Off stage right here, has to get disarmed.
Okay, now Fry's able to get back. You saw the exclamation points coming out. He gets on stage. Out comes the down signature, hitting both sides, makes contact, and you see the glow stick dance coming out from KiXe as well. Feeling good after he punched his ticket into top 8 alongside his teammate, FryDasOle.
Wow. That was a great ending for that set. I mean, it looked